Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. Okay, so if y'all watched the live stream last night, you know I was extremely busy yesterday and really have not paid attention to what's going on in the world in the last 24 hours. So I kind of wanted to show you what I'm doing or what I was doing yesterday. I want to show you something that's very, very cautionary. And then I also want to show you something that you may want to consider doing, considering probably at this point of the year, you got a lot of stuff that could be very beneficial to use as a prepper. Okay. So, all day yesterday, 10 hours worth of it, basically the whole time the sun was up, me and a couple of friends of mine were cutting down trees. We got 16 of them to cut in my yard. We got 14 of them done. And the first thing I want to show you here real quick is why sometimes you may want to get somebody, you may want to get somebody to do something for you if you're not the pro at it, okay? And I know as preppers, we all want to be as self-sufficient as possible, which is, of course, very good. But other people have sometimes better skills than you do. And this is a perfect example. So let me show you this. This is a tree that we were taking down yesterday. And if you take a look at this tree, now he's out cutting or setting up the tree here, and obviously I'm the one doing the filming. If you look at that tree is growing at about a 30-degree angle, okay? That tree is about 80 feet high. It's also about 30 inches around at the base, 30-inch diameter. This is a huge tree, all right? And we probably spent a good hour prepping this tree to come down. Why? Because this is a very dangerous tree. This tree could potentially kill somebody. I'm not talking about falling on you. I'm talking about the guy who's cutting the tree. Now, I don't know if you can make it out in the screen, but if you look on the tree at about, maybe 5 feet up or whatever, we've got a heavy-duty chain double wrapped around this tree. And there's a good reason. You can imagine all the stress that's on that tree growing on this angle, how much weight is there. And as we're cutting the tree, what we don't want to have happen is that tree kick back and wind up killing him here as he's cutting down this tree, all right? I mean, imagine that much weight, that much power, and something going twing right in your face. You're dead, okay? So we had put a chain on there to protect him. Now, as he's cutting through this tree, obviously you're gonna do your wedge cut, everything of the sort, and then do your back cut. No problem there. But I want you to watch here as this is going, and you can see the other tree to the right. It almost looks like it's black. It's just that's the way the sun was at this point. But as he's cutting this tree, watch what happens, and then watch him. As we'll just kind of wait here for a second because I'm trying to keep up with the screen. So he's going in, making his back cut. Obviously, we've got this tied off with a come-along to a tractor as well. I don't know if you can see the blue rope that's going through here to hold the tree from going anywhere. But there goes the tree. Now watch it snap in the center there, and then it almost kicked back at him on the bottom right there. And he finally got it down. That's how dangerous taking a tree down can be if you don't know what you're doing. I've cut down many trees. Not a problem there, okay? Never one like that. And I'm not even gonna bother to try. I'm gonna let somebody who does this for a living cut the tree down, okay? Certainly much better idea than me doing a live stream or doing a video from the emergency room. So just something to say, a lot of people will say on prepper videos, and someone said on mine, oh, he hired somebody to do it or whatever. He had somebody else do it. Why didn't he do it himself? Sometimes the smart way of doing things is to let somebody who knows more than you do it, to have the, what's the word, intelligence to go, you know what? Maybe I'd be better off letting somebody else do this. You have your specialties, the things that you're very good at. I do too. All right. Cutting down troublesome trees, not something I want to do. All right. So to give you an idea where we were, this is what this is 2 trees, guys, and you can see the size of those logs. Okay, that's 2 trees of the 14 we cut. And of course, there's some old stuff, but you can see here in front some of the other trees that or logs that we got to buck up and everything. There's a bunch, but that stack right there is 2 trees. We're cutting some big trees. Now, when you cut down trees, of course, what do you get? You also get a whole bunch of brush. And so we had to burn a lot of the brush that was going with too. So that's where you get here with this, okay? But you'll notice, besides the brush burning in the fire pit, I have a horse trough there with a whole bunch of ash in it. Why would I have that? Well, first off, it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Second off, I want to save all that biochar for my gardens. Okay, and I kind of want to get into this a little bit, what biochar is and whole 9 yards. Excuse me. All right. So first thing, most of you guys know that wood ash is good for your gardens, right? Okay, you know, wood ash is a great source of potassium. It's a great source of lime for your gardens. It contains nutrients that are very beneficial for plant growth. I mean, calcium is one of the nutrients that wood ash is very high in, okay? You know, it could be nearly 20% of your wood ash could be calcium. All the time we talk about eggshells or blossom end rot for peppers or tomatoes or something. Wood ash is something that will really help that if you've got it in your garden, okay? Obviously, potash, potassium is another component, and you get about 5% potash out of wood. You're going to get higher concentrations from hardwoods than you are from softwoods, just so you know. So if you're burning oak or ash or something, that's going to be a hell of a lot better than burning pine. And for what we were cutting down yesterday, I mean, it was pine, it was elm, it was maple, it was chestnut, it was whatever trees had to go. All right. Here's a catch and something I want you to remember. Wood ash is very good at lowering the acidity in your soil, okay? It'll raise your pH, it'll lower your acidity, okay? Therefore, you do not want to put wood ash around any plants that like acidic soil. Blueberries, roses, azaleas, anything like that. Do not put wood ash around it. That's not going to do you any good. Those like acidic soil, so you need to keep your soil acidity or your soil more acidic, so you don't want to lower the acidity. Now, why do I have a tub, a horse trough full of ashes? Okay, and what did I do with it? When you get ashes wet, okay, you're going to lose all the nutrients in them, and all you're basically going to save is the salt and the lye, which isn't exactly what you want to be putting in your garden, okay? So the only time you want to the only wood ash that you ever want to put in your garden, obviously, is cold wood ash, okay? But dry wood ash. And once it's got wet, it's toast, okay? Throw it out, it's sludge, it's no good, end of story. The other option, and this is what I was doing with this because I know I'm going to have a ton more trees to burn. I've burned about 6 trees worth of brush. That means I've got 10 more trees worth of brush to burn, okay? I had scooped into the horse trough here a bunch of the coals as they were done, okay? Before they had completely turned to ash, to dust. So if you can see in there, they're kind of chunky. And what I'm trying to do is create biochar for that. And now biochar is something that's, it's very, the studies are promising for what it can do for your gardens. Okay, let's just put it that way. It's good at increasing nitrogen retention in your soil. It reduces the leaching of the nitrogen, you know, from either leaching or from gaseous loss. Okay, and it increases the phosphorus availability to the plants. Okay, which is what we want. Okay, you know, again, talk about nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are the three building blocks of any plant. However, here's the catch. There have not been enough studies yet to say if it is a good idea to mix it directly in your soil, okay? That you're better off composting it, using it as another brown material. After all, it's wood, okay? It's supposed to rain here all day today, okay, on and off, and I don't want to risk losing all that good resource I have to the rain and let it leach out all over the place through my fire pit, and I'm left with salt and lye. Okay, so hence the reason I put the chunks, looks like charcoal, in the fire pit or in the horse trough. If it gets wet, that's fine. All this is going to do is go into my compost pile, and it will add those nutrients to my compost. Perfect. Okay. I won't get the benefits of them until next year, but that's fine. I'm going to be growing a garden next year anyway. So just something to think about if you've got a fireplace or if you've got a fire pit that you're using. It's wintertime. A lot of people using fireplace, using your wood stove, whatever. You can make use of that ash, guys. And if you take out the coals when they're still hot, like I did here, you can see because they were steaming, okay, and then I just sprayed them down with some water to cool them down. Didn't soak them or anything like that. A couple, you know, spray it over a little bit, get the steam down. It'll evaporate everything. Do it again. I did it 3 times in there and it's still steaming. It'll cool off overnight if it rains, you know, whatever would be. It's going in the compost pile anyway. I just don't want to set my compost pile on fire. Okay. So that's just a benefit that you can use for the wood ash, the charcoal that you come up with it, rather than throw it out, make a mess and everything like that. Use it in your garden. It's going to increase the viability, and the studies have shown that biochar, composted biochar, does increase your yield by about 10%. You want 10% more food? Maybe this is something to do. Okay. So that was kind of what we had going on there, but you know, just taking a look at the last bit, this is what I get to look at tomorrow. This is the mess my backyard is at the moment. There are trees everywhere. So, like I said, we got a whole bunch of bucking and cutting and burning and everything like that to do. Yep. That's why I haven't been paying attention to the news, guys. I got all that going on. Hey, you take advantage of sunny 45-degree days in January while you can. The joys of living in Tennessee. Have a good day, guys. If I see anything in the news, because chances are I'm going to go look at it, okay, I'll let you know later. Have a good one. Pinball out.